shanti shanti. Hari Om. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avataravarinishtaya Ramakrishna Math Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityoramaamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. I have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Today's subject I have chosen, right attitude leads to realization of God. Right attitude. That is the foundation for spiritual life. Crooked attitude makes a person miserable. So one should cherish proper attitude towards life. Then this very life on this earth becomes enjoyable. So, attitude is very important to begin with. One who has right attitude will definitely reach the goal. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, whichever attitude you adopt, you will certainly realize God if you have firm faith. You may believe in God with form or in God without form, but your faith must be sincere and wholehearted. Shambhu Malik used to come on foot from Bagh Bazaar to his garden house at Dakshineshwar. It was a long distance. One day, a friend said to him, "It is risky to walk such a long distance. Why don't you come in a carriage?" At that, Shambhu's face turned red. He exclaimed, "What? I set out repeating the name of God? What danger can befall me?" Through faith alone, one attains everything. Sri Ramakrishna said to Narendra and others, how to conquer the most difficult in the world, lust, Sri Ramakrishna gives a very simple solution. He said, I regard woman as my mother. I regard myself as her son. This is a very pure attitude. There is no danger in it. To look on woman as a sister is also not bad. These are words of Sri Ramakrishna. But to assume the attitude of a hero, to look on woman as one's mistress, is the most difficult discipline. In this form of sadhana, one cannot always maintain the right attitude. It's most dangerous. In another place, Sri Ramakrishna says, in order to realize God, one must assume one of these attitudes. 5 attitudes are well defined, which Sri Ramakrishna himself practiced. If you read Great Master, you will understand all this very clearly. 5 attitudes are there. Shanta Bhava, Dasya Bhava, Sakhya Bhava, Vatsalya Bhava, Madhura Bhava. Shanta, that is the serene attitude. The rishis of olden times had this attitude toward God. In the modern times we have seen Ramana Maharshi having that serene attitude. They did not desire any worldly enjoyment. It is like the single-minded devotion of a wife to her husband. She knows that her husband is the embodiment of beauty and love, a veritable Madan. Dasya, the attitude of a servant towards his master. Sri Ramakrishna tells Hanuman had this attitude toward Sri Ramchandra. He felt the strength of a lion when he worked for Rama. A wife feels this mood also. She serves her husband with all her heart and soul. A mother also has a little of this attitude, as Yashoda had towards Krishna. Sakhya, the attitude of a friendship. Friends say to one another, come here and sit near me. Sri Dama and other friends sometimes fed Krishna with fruit, part of which they had already eaten, and sometimes climbed on his shoulders. That is friendship. Vatsalya, the attitude of a mother toward her child. This was Yashoda's attitude towards Krishna. The wife too has a little of this. She feeds her husband with her very lifeblood, as if it were. The mother feels happy only when the child has eaten to his heart's content. Yashoda would roam about with butter in her hand in order to feed Krishna. Then the Madhur, the attitude of a woman toward her lover. Radha had this attitude towards Krishna. The wife also feels it for her husband. This attitude, Madhur Bhava, includes all the other 4. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, one sees nothing but God everywhere when one loves him with great intensity. It is like a person with jaundice who sees everything yellow. Then one feels, I am verily he. A drunkard, deeply intoxicated, says, verily I am Kali. The gopis, intoxicated with love, exclaimed, "Verily I am Krishna." One who thinks of God day and night beholds him everywhere. It is like a man seeing flames on all sides after he has gazed fixedly at one flame for some time. Anyway, concentrating on God, visualizing Him, trying to see Him with whole mind gives tremendous peace and joy, and he feels tremendously blissful. All the Mahatmas have said about this right attitude which we should cherish in our life. People generally go for jobs and after the job they come back. They cannot say they don't have time for spiritual practice. But still, they are not doing it because it is simply a matter of mental attitude. They don't have serious inclination towards spirituality. If the mind has a natural leaning towards God, one can make time and opportunity for spiritual practice. Definitely one can make. How much time we waste in so many things. It's very interesting to watch the people. Sometimes I watch them and introspect myself. The mystery of the creation. Many people come here to the chapel, to the temple, go to the bookstore, etc., etc. Suppose they engage in some talk. They keep on talking. It doesn't matter if it takes half an hour or 45 minutes. But if it makes them to understand that the service would be there at 6 o'clock and it will be nice to attend the service. Immediately they are conscious of time. Oh, time. I have seen people literally running. Literally running, I have seen. Because they know before 6 o'clock if they run, they think they are excused. But God knows they are running. Suppose if somebody else was there talking, you would not have mind talking half an hour more. That means you don't have proper inclination. That's the point. If you have right inclination, right attitude, definitely it gives an awakening. 6 o'clock. Why should I waste time? Let me go and attend service. We are doing service to whom? A living God. Sri Ramakrishna said, living God. He is living here. I used to, in Bangalore, Yatishwanju Maharaj, my Gurudev, people would come to talk to him and get instructions, etc. There, this prayer would start at 7 o'clock every day. Time is fixed. 6:45 they give the bell. That is 15 minutes bell is given so that people can make preparation. Instead of running, rushing, let them become aware. 7 o'clock there is prayer, we should go. I myself have seen Swami Chidananda would stop talking. Even though he was talking about spiritual matters, he would say, now, bell is given, wash your hands and feet, go to the chapel, attend the service, sit for a while, then we shall talk. Swami himself would get up. So that was a training I got. What a beautiful attitude. You must cherish that attitude. Spiritual life begins with spiritual attitude. If you don't build up your attitude, how can you gear up your system? The system is in a very different way. You have to straighten it out. It is no good frequenting all sorts of places and mixing with all sorts of people without having become firm in one's own attitude. If you go on like that, that shatters your own convictions. One must get firmly established in one's own spiritual attitude. One must get that attitude fully matured. I have seen people talking in a light way. Oh, Swamiji, there is a lot of selfishness in this world. Corruption is there. What can we do? That means he's as if he's posing in the process. If he's also adopting corrupt ways, it doesn't matter. That is his way of expression. But the spiritual teachers emphatically say, let the world be selfish, but that should be no excuse for my becoming selfish. That should be one's attitude. Don't pass any remarks or observation about others, about the world. You follow what is the right thing, what is the right attitude. That's the way. Swami Chidananda, direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, dealing with this subject, right attitude. He says, if one feels oneself as body, one must consider oneself as a servant of the Lord. When one thinks oneself as a jiva, the individualized soul, one must consider oneself as a part of him. And when one feels oneself as a Atman, one is the same as the Lord himself. So, you have to cherish attitude at different levels. There is another attitude, and that is to scorn failure and push onward to success. That is laudable. Cheerful, hopeful outlook on life is very good attitude. Failure is used as a stepping stone to success. That means down today, up tomorrow. What I call good, you perhaps call bad, and the reverse. Where is the standard? The standard is in our own attitude towards life. Each one of us has his own standard. And with increased experience and insight, the standard changes. I must realize God in this very life. That should be your attitude. This is said by Swami Chidananda. All these direct disciples, how nicely they have dealt with spiritual ideas, amazing. You don't have to worry, I don't know Sanskrit, what can I do? Don't weep. You know English. Very good, you are fortunate. Read all this. All the spiritual contents of the scriptures are given by these direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, who got training from Sri Ramakrishna directly and who did realize the truth in their very life. Each one is great. 16 disciples. Each one. Each one is gold. Remarkable. Swami Adbhutanji, he was dealing with this attitude. What type of attitude we should have in our spiritual life? Spiritual life begins with spiritual attitude. No more say, I am worldly like that. Stop telling, I am worldly. Instead of telling worldly, you always say, I am spiritual. Keep on thinking you are spiritual. That makes you wonderful. The garden and its produce belong to the master. The gardener doesn't know anything. Everything is the master's. But he offers the master's things to him with great devotion and humility. Suppose he has grown, the gardener has grown pumpkin in the garden. It has come very well, nice looking. Immediately takes and gives to the master. See how nice the pumpkin has come. Everything of the world belongs to the Lord, and we are his gardeners. We are all the gardeners of God. World is the garden. How nicely Adbhutanji has said, Thou art my Lord, and I am the servant. Actuated by this attitude, and with faith and devotion, we offer the Lord's things to him. You are plucking flowers and offering. Whose flowers are they? His own flowers you are giving him. This is Dasya Bhakti. And Swami Brahmanji said about attitude, know that you are worshipping the Lord through your work. If you can work with this attitude, work will not bind you. On the contrary, it will improve you in every way, physically, mentally, intellectually, morally, and spiritually. In all these levels, you will improve. Only you should have that attitude. You are working, you are worshipping the Lord through your work. That attitude must be very clear and firm. Swami Akhandananji, he said, at night you must take a little less food and try to maintain always an attitude of prayer, a current of higher thoughts. And another area must occupy your mind. That is, in this very life, I must see God. I must finish my task of calling upon him. Never miss prayer anytime. Swami Ramakrishna, he has also explained nicely the subject attitude, describing the true attitude of a jnani. Swami Ramakrishna said, Maya, Maya Shakti, we call. The personified creative force. Maya, personified creative force. She came one day to a sage and said, well, am I not very great? Maya is asking the sage. Am I not very great? See, I have created so many worlds, suns and moons and stars. Virtually, I am the ruler of such a vast universe. The sage replied. What did he reply? He said, Oh Maya, you are the queen of zero. She became angry. What? Probably he has not recognized my power. Probably he could not recognize my greatness. In spite of telling me directly that the whole universe, everything has been created, moon, stars, suns, everything, what not. So, she wanted to punish him or teach him a lesson or to convince him that really she is great. She took it as a challenge. Maya is taking a challenge. So, what she did was, she came and touched him. Because of the power of touch, the sage became a camel. You know camel? It was put in a desert. It was made to carry heavy burdens over the hot sands and subjected to such cruel treatment. And the sage in the body of camel did not grumble. Then Maya herself took pity. Well, this is too much. I should not torture him this way. Maya took pity on the sage. So she released him. She thought probably now the sage must have really understood my greatness. So she asked him if he would not now fall down and worship her. When he heard this, he simply laughed over it. He laughed and said, Oh Maya, what are you telling? I have neither camel's body nor camel's mind. You are not hurting me. You are only slapping your own cheek. Maya again became angry. She said, You are still incorrigible. Then again she wanted to give more severe test. What she did was, she touched him again, and this time she made him an ass, donkey. You know the donkeys you must have seen, particularly in India, I don't know here. It was beaten. It was forced to carry smelly burdens and to have a miserable existence. Then after some time, after some period of time, Maya came to him and asked him, at least now he should bow to her, he should accept her greatness. Why should I? Said this sage. I am not suffering. The ass's body belongs to you, not to me. You created the ass's body, is it not? It belongs to you. At last, seeing that she could not disturb the serenity of the sage's mind, Maya herself fell prostrate before him, saying, "Really, it is you who are greater." See how nicely Ramakrishnaji has given the story. Excellent. So, attitude of a jnani. Nicely it does. You must have some attitude, whatever path you follow, whether jnana, bhakti, karma, whatever it is. Attitude must be there. Without attitude, it cannot work. Swami Chidananda, he said about the attitude, whatever is happening at his command. That is at the command of the Lord. And if he wills, the situation will change. With this attitude, resign yourself to the Lord and be happy and free from cares. The work that you do is to be performed with the right attitude. You must feel that the duties that you are discharging have been entrusted to you by the Lord. You are doing them only to satisfy Him and not to satisfy your selfish will. No work is menial. Even scrubbing the floor may be turned into worship if there is the remembrance of the Lord with it. Remember God and do the job. Then work is transformed into worship. And that worship is accepted by God. In that process, your mind gets purified. To begin the work, you must have that attitude. Whose work I am doing? Whose work? So give importance to God, not to you. That means I should not assert my importance again and again. That means the more I assert importance on myself, I am becoming more and more egoistic. That way, I am losing my divine fervor. So, never give room to such things. Always feel humble. Have the attitude of humility. Sri Ramakrishna is the personification of humility. So when you think of Sri Ramakrishna constantly, you must acquire Sri Ramakrishna's qualities. I am the instrument of Mother. Oh Mother, you are the operator, I am the machine. How nicely it sings a song. Sakali Tomaricha. Beautiful song. Ame yantra tumi yantri. Beautiful song. So everybody has body, senses and the mind. Each one has this equipment. With this equipment we have come into this world and we are playing with this equipment. If you have the right attitude with the same equipment, you will be able to realize God. Purposeless and neurotic mortification of the body is not encouraged. Physical austerity is necessary insofar as it helps to strengthen the mind. A person who is not easily affected by heat or cold, pleasure or pain, is mentally a stronger person. He is more likely to handle the various problems in his life without being defeated by them. Too much identification with the body makes a person mentally weak, but extremity is not encouraged. Neglecting the body is not necessarily considered a virtue. You have to take care of the body. But there is a way to do it. The scriptures also teach that the body is a temple of God. When you say it is a temple of God, it should be kept neat and clean. The soul or the indwelling divine self resides in it. As God is omnipresent, God is present in each and every being. Right attitude towards body is important. Keep the body clean and use it in a proper way. In fact, there is Hatha Yoga. It has got its great value. Hatha Yoga keeps the body in a very good shape. It maintains the health of the body, which in turn helps to maintain the health of the mind. It paves the way for the realization of the self. All these are connected to God only. That's why it's called yoga. That means it paves the way. It clears the channel. It clears the path. It clears the spiritual path. So, a person following the Hatha Yoga, he also reaches the goal. So, by practicing Hatha Yoga, he builds up a strong endocrine and nervous system as well as organs by daily asanas. Yoga Nidra, deep relaxation, pranayama, breathing exercise, kriyas, cleansing practices, and mental concentration. These sadhakas who practice Hatha Yoga live in the world out of the fullness of self-realization. They want to construct a divine body for themselves which would guarantee immortality in the manifest realms. Basically, they want the whole package, self-realization and a transmuted body in which to enjoy the manifest universe in its diverse dimensions. So there are other yogas are also mentioned. Raj Yoga, for example, through concentration and meditation, one realizes the truth. The aspirant tries to control 5 senses with right attitude, which lead to concentration and meditation. Any yoga, whatever yoga you practice, you must have the right attitude. Again, Karma Yoga is the yoga of action. The force generated by a person's action to perpetuate transmigration, and in it ethical consequences to determine his destiny is the next existence. Whatever he has done in his previous life, that determines his future birth. Karma is not only an action, but it is an invisible result that shapes a person's destiny. It shapes a person's destiny. Human or multi-dimensional structures, and when the physical body abruptly ends, the person's spirit does not. As a result, karma works for the welfare of the world. Karma Yoga involves a more considerable devotion in the performance of one's duty. It involves a profound spiritual attitude. With spiritual attitude only it becomes yoga. Otherwise not. Otherwise, Karma Yoga minus yoga. That's all. That is equal. Machines also do karma. You are also doing karma. There is no difference between machine and yourself. That's the meaning. With right attitude only, everything gets meaning. That's the idea. Anyway, there are so many ways of reaching the truth, and Bhakti Yoga also is devotional attitude, and Bhagavad defines 9 stages of attitude. Shravan, that is listening to the names of the divine person, God, whomsoever deity you are worshipping, you must love to hear. You must love to chant his names. So hearing them creates a devotional attitude in the receptive listener. So one is Shravan. Second is Kirtan, praising God, that is singing devotional songs. Third is Smaran, remembrance of God, loving meditative recalling of attributes of the divine God. Pada Sevana, service of the Lord, service of the feet of the Lord, which is part of ceremonial worship. The feet symbolize a terminal of magic and spiritual power and grace, such as bowing to a guru's feet. Then Archana, performance of worship of the deity at home. Then 6th, prostration, Vandana, before the image. That's also part of the sadhana. 7th, Dasya Bhava, servant attitude. 8th, friendship, attitude of friendship, Sakhya. Then last one, 9th one, Atma Nivedana, ecstatic self-transcendence through which the worshipper enters the immortal body of the divine person. So devotional attitude, Bhakti Yoga deals with. And Jnana Yoga, which means knowledge or insight, is a path to self-realization through the exercise of special knowledge or intuition. Jnanis don't worship God as an object different from the self, and a discipline that leads to attainment of anything distinct from one's own self. Jnana Yogis they gain knowledge of the self by ceasing to identify with the body, mind and ego. Identification with the divine, with the divinity within, assists in the realization of the oneness of all creation. Jnanis have a straight but steep course to achieve liberation while continuing to be present in the physical body. The 4 principles are mentioned in the Vedanta Sara. One is Viveka, discrimination between real and the unreal. Vairagya, dispassion. Then Shamatama, the Shat Sampatti, that is tranquility, the art of remaining calm in the face of adversity. Dhamma, curbing one's senses which are habitually hankering after stimulation. Uparati, abstention from action that are not relevant to the maintenance of the body or the pursuit of enlightenment. Titiksha, to be unruffled by the play of the opposites in nature. Samadhana, concentration. Shraddha, faith. Then Uparati, then Mumukshut, cultivation of spiritual impulse, intense urge for liberation. All these attitudes are important. Whatever yoga you practice, I said in all the yogas, they give importance, primary importance for attitude. So, Sri Ramakrishna has said, right attitude leads to realization of God. That's all. Simple. right attitude. So right attitude should excite your love and taste towards divine. With right attitude, if you come to chapel, you will have the maximum benefit of the place. Every bit of your time in the chapel you enjoy. The secret of that joy is right attitude. Page 824, 825 I think. Sri Ramakrishna had returned to Balram's house. He was resting in the small room to the west of the drawing room. It was quite late, almost 11:15. Sri Ramakrishna said to Jogin, "Please rub my feet gently." M was sitting nearby. Where Jogin was rubbing his feet, the master said suddenly, "I feel hungry. I shall eat some farina pudding." When Narendra or some other singer wants to sing, Sri Ramakrishna ate a little pudding. Jogin and the other devotees left the room. M was stroking the master's feet. They talked together. Master said, referring to the Brahmani and her relatives, "Ah, how happy they were." M, how amazing. A similar thing happened with two women at the time of Jesus. They too were sisters and devoted to Christ, Martha and Mary. Master said eagerly, "Tell me the story." M said, "Jesus Christ, like you, went to their house with his devotees. At the sight of him, one of the sisters was filled with ecstatic happiness. It reminds me of a song about Gauranga. My two eyes sank in the sea of Gaura's heavenly beauty and did not come back to me again. Down went my mind as well, forgetting bow, forgetting how to swim." The other sister, all by herself, was arranging the food to entertain Jesus. She complained to the master, saying, "Lord, please judge for yourself. How wrong my sister is. She is sitting in your room and I am doing all these things by myself." Jesus said, "Your sister indeed is blessed. She has developed the only thing needful in human life, love of God." Master said, "Well, after seeing all this, what do you feel?" M said, "I feel that Christ, Chaitanya Deva and yourself, all three, are one and the same. It is the same person that has become all these three." Master said, "Yes, yes, yes. One. It is indeed one. Don't you see that it is he alone who dwells here in this way?" Referring to Sri Ramakrishna. As he said this, Sri Ramakrishna pointed with his finger to his own body. M said, "You explained clearly the other day how God incarnates himself on earth." Master said, "Tell me what I said." M said, you told us to imagine a field extending to the horizon and beyond. It extends without any obstruction, but we can't see it on account of a wall in front of us. In that wall, there is a round hole. Through the hole, we see a part of that infinite field." Master, "Tell me what that hole is." M, you are that hole. Through you can be seen everything. That infinite meadow without any end. Sri Ramakrishna was very much pleased. Patting M's back, he said, "I see you have understood that. That's fine." Let's stop. Gospel, oh, the best, I should say. You don't have to worry. I did not know Sanskrit. I did not know Hindi. I did not know Marathi. Don't. What you know is more than enough. That's all. Have a right attitude and enjoy every moment of your life. And you will definitely enjoy, I tell you. Spiritual life really gives you immense joy. It all depends upon how you build up your attitude. Any question? Sanchit. You want to play. Your attitude is to play morning to night. One day we should allow you. Go. At 8 o'clock you go, come in the night, 9 o'clock. Whole day you play. Then you, play is enough. Then you come back. No more play. Like that, we are all playing in this world. Time will come, we are discussing, play is enough. And you come back. And India has got any question? Towards? Please tell loudly. Working you, for people who are working, I told you today, just now. Think that you are doing that duty, you are discharging your duty. And think of God and do the work. Whatever work you do, as one of the direct disciples said, no work is menial. If you think of God and do it, it is converted into worship. So, without losing sight of God, you carry on your duty. That's the point. Work will be there, no, but there is work at the same time. You must have some kind of control over the work. People engage themselves, involve themselves in too much of work, and then they say, oh, I have a lot of work. You love to work, so you work. But we don't have the capacity to control the work. You want to do more and more, more and more, more and more. Like that. In that process, whole time is gone. You don't have time even to breathe. I see many people, they don't even take bath because they have no time to take bath. Where is the time? Probably they may not even wash their mouth also. Because they get up late, they have to rush. Anything is possible. So right attitude means you must have discipline. Discipline. Spiritual discipline. Everything should be under your control. That control is possible when you have right attitude. Yes. Go to the job correctly, come back correctly. Divide the time in such a way, all the time is used in a proper way. Whatever work you are doing, think of God and do it. So, thinking God all the time, that's the attitude you should cultivate. Whether you are driving, whether you are walking, whether you are talking, whether you are reading, whatever you are doing, part of the mind should think of God. It's a practice. You constantly do that, and when you are free, think of God wholly, with the whole mind. You go to sleep, and the whole mind is at rest now. You think of God and go to sleep. You must relax that way. Thinking of God should become relaxation. Not thinking some bad thoughts and relaxing in a bad way. No. That's not relaxation. That's exhaustion. So relaxing, thinking about the spiritual idea and relax. That's why meditation is called relax. It's a meditation is also a great gives great relaxation if it is done properly, because you disconnect yourself from all the ties For the moment you feel you are free from all bondages, at least you imagine you are free. It's just one with the divine. That feeling, that attitude, that makes you, that gives you good relaxation. Like that. We shall stop. Bhajan and bhakti definitely give you a lot of information and joy. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drown deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bought for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust or the ties of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with his desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt. For thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the free make others free. May the good bread all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the world be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased, he being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.